Right behind me is the fish and chip shop. My father used to come every Friday night to buy our fish and chips, and it was tradition in our family for many, many years. I can remember we would have fish and chips on a Friday night. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Lee. I'm back in the UK to visit my family, and I wanted to show my wife Vicky all the areas where I grew up, where I went to school, where I was born, where I had a first business, and where literally I spent all my childhood till the age of about 18. So yeah, and I thought it'd be a great idea to show you guys in the video. So join me on a little journey of my childhood and where I grew up. So this is where I was born, and I was born in this house here, number 5. And when my mum and dad bought this, it was less than £2,000. And they're quite unique. There's not many houses like this in the UK. I was born here, I lived here till I was 4 years old, and then we moved to Parkfield Road. I had friends live all down here, and the next left is the street I grew up in. Okay, so this is the street I grew up into. We moved to here when I was 4 years old, and I lived here until I left home at about the age of 18 or 19. And it is so unbelievable to come and see this again. It's been many, many years since I come here. And the first thing I've noticed, many houses now have converted their front gardens to driveways to park the cars. Because when I grew up here, you could literally look up the street and probably see 2 or maybe 3 cars. And all my friends used to live here. This is number 6 here, and this is where my mum's best friend used to live, and she got 3 or 4 children. We used to play in the street, because in the UK it doesn't get dark till about 10 o'clock at night in the summertime, and we just used to play out in the street, and when it got dark we'd be called in. And then just coming down here, this is the house, this is the actual house here that I grew up in, and this is number 17. And they've got long back gardens. The back gardens are about 30 or 40 metres long. But this was a beautiful garden when I lived here. My mum and dad used to keep this garden beautiful, and we had a hedgerow along here. This was a nice lawn, and they'd put all flowers in and that. That's number 17. I still remember my telephone number for that house, and it was 0121 552 2839, because that was drummed into me by my parents, because in those days we didn't have mobile phones, so if ever I got in trouble, that was the number I needed to call home. And it's 17 Parkfield Road, and that was that's quite amazing, absolutely. And this is my dad's sister used to live in this house over here, and she had 4 lads, so the street used to be buzzing. And I remember when we had the Queen's Jubilee, we closed off the road and we had tables all along the middle of the road. We had a massive party in the street, and that was called Silver Jubilee. And then if we just have a walk down here, this is an entrance to the back of the houses. And we used to play on our bicycles. That's my auntie's house. I can't remember the number now. I was thinking it was number 20 maybe. That's where my aunt used to live. And this was a gullyway. Oh my God, we never used to have all this grass down the middle, but this is the access to the garages for the houses, because a lot of houses have garages, and we used to play up and down here on our bikes, me and my friends, and we'd play here all day long. We'd make bicycles, we'd make go-karts. I got so many fond memories of here. So this behind me, this used to be a newsagent. It looks as if it's been converted back into a house now. There used to be a newsagent. That's where I used to do my paper round from. So I used to get up at 6:30 every morning before I went to school, and I'd deliver about 50 newspapers to all these houses in these roads around here. And then every Friday evening I used to have to go and collect the money off the people, and they would sometimes give me tips. So I would get like 5 pence or 10 pence off somebody. It's equivalent to about 1 yuan. But I'd collect money from about 30 houses, so I might get 20 to 30 yuan's worth, you know, like £2 or £3 in money. And I used to love that, because I remember I used to be paid £2, 10 pence a week to deliver papers in the morning and the evening. So I would come this way from school, and I'd go directly to the store and pick up my papers. I didn't like evenings because the papers were much thicker and heavier. So I used to have to deliver about 60 papers in the evening. So when you first start, it's really heavy. Another morning was probably about 40 to 50 papers. But the favourite bit was at Christmas, because I used to get some Christmas tips off all my regulars on the round. So sometimes Christmas I'd have about £40 from all the people. Yeah, but this is, I'd walk from home, and we'd walk every morning, and we'd go to the store and buy some sweets and candy before carrying on to school through the park. Right, so this is where my education all started. This is my primary school I went to, but it's not how I remember it. It looks like it's a new building, but I have, again, many fond memories in there. And then behind that, just a bit further down, there's the junior school. And in the last year of primary school, we would go for half a day every week or two to the junior school. So it got us used to being in the big kids school, because it's very different from the primary school to the junior school in, how things are done. But yeah, I have many fond memories of there. My favourite is, used to remember on a Friday afternoon we had what's called toy day. So we didn't do lessons, you were able to bring a toy in from home to play with on a Friday afternoon. I used to remember that quite fondly, because that was my favourite part of the school week. Oh my God, I'm kind of in shock, because I've come to where I used to go to school, which is here, and the old school is not there anymore. So when I went there, it was a really old building, a very traditional style building with a big front, and it was called Albury High School. And then later on, after I left, it merged with another school, and it was then called Langley High School. But now it seems to be called Q3 Academy, and it's like a really modern building. It's just completely different. They obviously must have demolished the whole school and rebuilt the entire. When I was there, we had the main school, and we had these portable classrooms because the buildings wasn't big enough. So they've obviously decided to, and it's called now Q3 Academy Langley. Wow, it looks really, really nice. I'm quite jealous. It wasn't that nice when I went there. It was a really old building. Some of the classrooms leaked, and when it rained, there'd be water coming inside and stuff. Oh my God, it's lovely now. I can't believe how different it is here. And then this is the park. So sometimes I'd come out of school and we'd go this way home, and we'd walk through the park here. And this house here, this was we have a job called a park keeper. He was like the warden of the park. And if you got that job, you were able to live in the house for free of charge. And this was the warden's, the park keeper's house. I don't know what it is now. Oh, it's a children's nursery now, look. 5-star day nursery. But this has all changed. This was just like a walkway, and you could walk right down there. Now they've obviously got, oh yeah, they've got the old name here, look, Barnford Park, whereas the sign at the other side says Barnford Hill Park. This is all, that building's new. There's a car park here which is new. I must say it's very well maintained. I didn't actually expect it to be like this. And there's a part up here, right, and just behind this big hill, every 5th of November they used to have a massive bonfire and fireworks, and we all used to come and watch them light the bonfire and let all the fireworks off. But I doubt whether they have. Oh, that sign says Barnford Hill Park. They obviously haven't updated that sign. And this used to be over here. This was some gardens, and it was called Garden for the Blind. It had all sensual things there for blind people to smell and touch. But yeah, it's very different now. They never had any of this fencing when I was there. They didn't have a car park because at that time most people didn't really have a car. So you'd walk up here. But this is very, very different. I've come back here and I'm really shocked because the store that used to be here was a butcher's shop that I used to work in when I was at secondary school, high school. And I used to work 10 hours on a Saturday from about 8 o'clock in the morning till sort of 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. And I used to earn 50 pence an hour. So all day I'd work 10 hours and I'd earn £5. And that's like about 40 yuan for all day, but I used to love my job there because it used to allow me to earn my own money. And next door here, this used to be it's obviously closed down now, but this used to be a grocery shop called Taylor's, and that was where people used to do their shopping before supermarkets came about. So this was a grocery store, and next to it, which they've obviously knocked down and they're building something new now, was a butcher's. And the butcher's name, I can even remember, it was called Bokits, and it was a family butcher's, and he would be quite famous in the area because he used to enter a sausage competition every year and win prizes for his quality of sausages. So yeah, it's really interesting to come and see it again. It's all changed so much. There's post boxes, look. So this tells you they collect at 4 p.m. is made from the post box. Oh no, the collection time is 9 a.m. in the morning, and on a Saturday it's 7 a.m. So you put your letters in there and they go into the post. So this store behind me, this Medina, these two stores, that used to be my store, and I used to sell video games and computer software, and people used to come from all over to come to my store here. I had some really good times there, but now it's a convenience store, and all the stores here, this used to be a news agent here owned by my friend, but all the stores here are very, very different. This right over here, this is the telephone exchange. That's probably a 5G base station on top, but this is a British Telecom telephone exchange. But yeah, it's really nice to come and see it. Everything's changed so much from when I was here. So right, this was the very first supermarket in the area. It's probably 45 to 50 years old now. But when it opened, I remember my mum and me being really excited to go for the first time, because before that we would shop at individual small shops. So you go to a butcher to buy your meat, you go to a bakery to buy your bread and your cakes, you go to a grocer's to buy your other foodstuffs. And this was the first one that opened in the area, the major one. When it first opened, it was called Savour Centre, but now they've turned it into a Sainsbury's, and it was revolutionary because it had a restaurant on the second floor, and that was like completely new. It also sold clothes, so you could go there to buy food, clothes, garden things, absolutely everything, and like people were just amazed. And that's something that is really different from the advent of supermarkets in the UK. People generally buy enough food for a whole week, and this is something that is really different in China. A lot of people actually just buy the food every day. There's also a much bigger culture that people eat out in restaurants in China simply because it's much cheaper than in the UK. Right, so I've really enjoyed it coming around here. It brings back so many memories of my childhood, and I lived around here from when I was born till I was almost probably 19 years old when I left home, and then I moved to an area called Stoke-on-Trent because I had a job there. And yeah, it's give you an insight into my childhood, where I grew up, the schools I went to, the places I had, where I had my business and stuff there. So I do hope you like that video. It's the first one I've done of that kind. You know, if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up, consider hitting that subscribe button. But as always, from a chilly England, take care.